On this episode of Grassroots Garage, we're with Stephen from Beat the Blue. And in what will surely be our most controversial episode, he brought along a highway patrol car. Events like this can only be run with the help of some pretty amazing sponsors. The main two being Royal Purple and Driving Solutions. We think that the message of Beat the Blue is so important, and it's a credit to Stephen and all those amazing sponsors for making this event such a success. It's worth noting that the highway patrol cars took out 77 of the 98 races. Not bad.
Welcome to Grassroots Garage. You can see this beautiful lineup of cars here. We're down at Sydney Motorsport Park. We found Stephen down here from Beat the Blue. Stephen, thanks for your time, man.
Man, great. Thanks for having me. Appreciate it.
Tell us a little bit about Beat the Blue.
Beat the Blue started a few years ago under a different name. We used to call it Cheesesteak and Cars. I've been racing since 2014, and I used to have to tell people I was a Sparky, but I was too scared to tell them I was a cop. So when people eventually found out, as they do, and you could have a conversation with them about what we did and why we did it, I found that 90% of them were on board, and you could really turn people's heads once you had a one-on-one conversation. So after a couple of years of racing and building up a bit of a decent rapport with people at the track, I thought of an idea where we could mix the two worlds together. So we started Cheesesteak and Cars. We had a few nice cars, a couple of race cars and a couple of highway cars at a restaurant out at Wetherill Park, and we just mingled together and had a chat. No agenda or anything like that. And with the first event, we had 40 people turn up, and we raised $100 for legacy. But the culmination of that was that it turned into something much bigger. So Beat the Blue, our first main event last year, attracted over 5,000 people, and in one night we raised $30,000 for New South Wales Police legacy. So it was a journey, but it's well worth it and going strong.
All right, what am I looking at?
So we're looking at a Chrysler, the SRT Core. It's one of the new highway cars in New South Wales. At Beat the Blue is actually the slowest car we had on the skid pan.
Really?
The best car we had on there was a dead heat between the BMW, the 530D, and the old Falcon.
Really?
Then the Commodore, and then this. This sounded the best, definitely on the skid pan on a cold Saturday night. It sounded great, but unfortunately, it didn't perform quite as well. But again, the skid pan, that layout we had set up, was very challenging, and she's a big girl, so
big heavy boat.
That's right. And all that technology in the BMW is amazing.
Yeah.
So it does help. Twin turbo, 6-cylinder diesel. It just really picks up where you need to, and it does a lot of the work for you.
Beautiful. So what am I looking at on top here? Talk me through up here.
So you've got the light bars and the automatic number plate recognition cameras sitting underneath them, so that allows us, it's all about our safety a bit there as well, because when I started in the cops and in highway, you had to manually type in every registration as you went past it. So right now I can concentrate on looking ahead or looking for other things, and that'll scan the registrations of the cars around me and tell me if there's an issue. So it's obviously the technology in that itself is great because it's quite quick and it's very accurate. But really, from my point of view, I want to make sure that I'm safe too. So that it's a lot safer for me to be driving around and not have to have my head buried in a computer.
Yeah. So not everyone's done it, but I've done it where I just completely forgot to re-register my car, and I got done by one of these cameras, and the guy was really good about it. So it just pings in your dash and says...
Yeah, it'll show you a picture of the car and what it thinks the registration is and what the issue is with the car.
Beautiful.
So it's great technology. It's difficult with registrations, and this is a personal thing, obviously, ever since they got rid of the stickers, because from an operational perspective, you're on that RBT line and you're walking down the line, you go, oh look, that sticker's the wrong colour, hey mate, what's the go with your rego? and it's hard. But there's so much technology in play now. I've got 5 cars on a motorbike, and I get harassed by the RMS with emails and letters and stuff saying, hey, your rego's coming up, hey, your rego's coming up. So it's just got to get with the times a little bit, and back to that old responsibility line.
Yeah, I mean, I just put the letter aside, and just that was it, you know. And I was coming home from the snow.
Yeah, wow.
You know, while we were down at the snow, it ran our rego. Factory brakes.
Yeah, so the cars don't get modified.
Okay. Yeah.
We get the cars from the factory as they are. The only car that had a bit of change was the Falcon. Got an upgraded Brembo package, but that was through Ford again. Beautiful. But these don't need it. These stop really well. Same as the BMWs.
Yeah. Can we have a little look inside? So again, we're looking at factory seats, factory interior, and then you just add-ons on top.
All of our gear that goes into the cars, it's all engineered. So there's always those stories about, how come I can't have a gauge on my dash, but you guys can have all this? And it's because we've gone through the process of engineering all the brackets and devices to go in. We can't willy-nilly just stick things on the dash ourselves. So like with modifying cars, there's a right and wrong way to do it, and we're adding things, so we don't put anything in the car unless it's engineered.
This will be a funny one. Unlimited budget. What kind of cop car are you driving?
Oh, I'm in a Porsche. I'm still in a Porsche.
What, like a brand new GT3 or something? What are you doing?
I have to be. If I've got unlimited budget, you want all the power. So you want a GT2 RS.
GT2 RS, but then you got the problem of it's a real harsh drive, right?
Yeah, that's all right.
You're
getting paid. It's all your sacrifices. Right. You know, that's what it's all about.
All right. So you give me an unlimited budget. What am I driving if I'm driving a cop car?
E63S.
I don't know. Yeah, maybe. I'm not a massive Euro guy. I don't know what I do.
I don't know.
Yeah. So this is just a factory 6.4.
Yeah, and like I said, this is a workhorse. This isn't some show pony. That's why she's dirty. But we really take care of our cars. They get serviced quite more regularly than scheduled through the manufacturer, and we do pre-inspections every day of the equipment, the cars, the tyres, because we do have to do all sorts of things, medical escorts, and urgent duty. You want to make sure that what you're driving is safe.
Yeah, so
you don't want to be a hypocrite either. I'm going to pull someone over for having bald tyres, and then I've got the inside tread of mine. It's no good.
And they love to post that on the internet.
Yeah,
they don't post about that time you do a medical escort and save someone's life. For all the different cars that have been over the years, what's your favourite highway patrol car?
Oh, XR6 Turbo. What a car. So pick up great, good brakes because it had the Brembos on there, and reliable. I didn't ever have an issue really with it, other than small things like maintenance stuff. But I felt really comfortable in it. I don't think there's any left actually. They're very scarce in the field now, Falcons. There's still a couple Commodores about, but there's not really many of them left.
Being in the police force, you've seen the result of people with egos that don't match their driving ability, I suppose you'd say.
Well, even if you look at driving ability, that fame everyone always goes to. Look, Peter Brock died in a car. It doesn't matter how good of a driver you are, you've got so many other elements, and when you're sharing the road with everyone else, I've been doing this job for 16 years now, one of the sort of go-to stories is you can be the best driver in the world, but mum and pa pull out of a side street to go to church Sunday morning, your car's not going to pull up. I've seen a lot of good people sit in that gutter after they've seriously hurt or killed someone and gone, I'm not a bad person, this isn't what I wanted to do, and they're right. They've made a mistake that people get away with 100 times a day, but that day it hasn't happened for them. And the fact that 400 people died on the road last year in New South Wales alone, that's a lot of families, a lot of people that are missing people this year and beyond. That can be really avoidable.
If you've got a teenage daughter, show them this bit. If I could never see another P-plate girl with one hand on the wheel, sorry girls, one hand on the wheel and one hand on their phone on the M4, that would be the dream for me. It stresses me out because I put my girls in my car, and I need everyone to be safe on the road. And the tragic things that we've seen over the years with guys, giving it a hit on the street, it's an inconsistent road surface, you don't know what's going to happen. It's just not worth that tragedy of it doesn't take much
it doesn't.
To lose it.
Well, that's where we're trying to get the message out that, you're 20 minutes, half an hour or even an hour away for some people to some great facilities in Sydney. You've got Sydney Motorsport Park, you've got the Dragway across the road, you've got Luddenham's got a racetrack now, you've got Goulburn, you've got Wakefield Raceway, then there's another, they've just done some work at Marulan as well at fixing that up. There's so many great facilities that aren't that expensive at all, and you can bring your own car, have a great day. And I've found whenever I've come to do a track day, I'm buggered after it. I don't want to go, I'm not speeding home because I'm knackered from, giving it everything I've got on the track and having a bit of fun, and your senses are heightened and you get to learn your car. And that's why, the Beat the Blue, we do it on the skid pan because that's the learning environment. That's when I did my driver training before I joined the police, the driver training I did as a police officer and then as a highway patrol officer. So much of it's centered around the skid pan, but it's a great environment to learn. So, it's the pan can be wet here and you lose control of your car. It's much better to do it here and learn what to do than on the road. So this is where we're trying to get the young blokes and girls, because they're just as bad as the guys.
And no one's getting rich off it. Like, I get it costs a couple $100 to come for the day.
No,
I mean, you guys, all your money goes to Legacy.
Yeah, that's right.
But the track is a business, but it's not making big dollars. Like, they're not making money off it. They're just covering their costs.
Well, we're really lucky with Beat the Blues. So Beat the Blues not a police initiative. So it's an independent, not-for-profit that's set up through Fair Trade, run by volunteers. Now, half of those volunteers are cops who give up their own time to work on Beat the Blue and the initiatives we do. The other half are car guys that have through the years helped us and volunteered and sort of went, we really like what you're doing with the scene, trying to make it safer and better, and they're volunteering their time too. So it's not a police thing. This is just people from the community who just want to do something a bit better, so it'll own their future, like to say. And like I said to you before, we didn't want it to be that, it's about money. It's not about me paying for a service for the Evo or the Porsche or another bike in the garage. Every dollar people spend goes to Legacy, and we can only do that because of we've got some great sponsors, and the main ones being Driving Solutions, who do all the driver training here at Sydney Motorsport Park and the track days, and EJ from Royal Purple. And without those, because like I said, when we mate the concreter, he might be able to do a bit more of his car, but I'm just a cop and we don't surprisingly get paid all too much. I can't afford to put on a skid pan day for 100 people, but with the support of those two companies and a lot of others, we've been able to really do a lot of good. So not just put days on like that, but last year we hit nearly $40,000 that went to Legacy. I couldn't do it. I'd love to be able to donate every dollar to Legacy from what I do outside of this, but I can't. So what I've tried to do is, get businesses and the community on board, and we try and raise as much money as we can to do what they want in cars. Because no one will ever. I love cars. I'm never going to stop wanting to have fun in cars or bikes too. I've got the odd bike at home too. But this is the place to do it, and it's easy to put an old head. It's not easy to put, an old head on young shoulders. You can, and again, that's another thing with Beat the Blue. We really wanted it to be a practical thing, not, you should do this and you should do this, and we're telling you should do this. No, we'll be there. We'll be at the skid pan. We'll be on the pan, and we'll do it as well. Like, it's that practical sense that don't just do as I say, do as we do type thing. Because I think these days, and I've got 5 kids at home, they love getting lectured. No, they don't. Like, they don't want to hear it. But if they see it, it works a lot better. So that's what we're trying to do, is sort of really walk the walk. People, where you see the comments on Facebook all the time, where can I do this, or there's nowhere for me to do it. Well, there actually is. And that's what we're trying to do, is show people that there are places, especially in New South Wales, where you can have some fun in your car legally and safely. And this is where to do it.
Can you just go in a little bit into the Operation Puma, where you're sort of trying to encourage people to take it off the street?
My day-to-day work is I'm part of a strike force called Puma, and what we do is we target habitual disqualified drivers and habitual dangerous drivers. So we're not after people not indicating at intersections. We're after the people that are going to hurt your family or mine. So Puma started on the back of the Falcon family tragedy that happened on the south coast, where that home and away actress, where her whole family passed away as a result of a habitual traffic offender. And we're just trying to identify people like that and get them off our roads.
Definitely. hopefully you made it to the end of that video, and hopefully you're on board and you appreciate what we're trying to do. And I really want to thank Stephen for his time. And Stephen, thanks so much.
No,
mate.
I appreciate it, mate. It's great seeing, getting to talk to other car people and spread the message of what we're trying to do.
Legend.